What's up, YouTube? This is the 82-0 podcast. This time we're taking a look at Jumpin' Joe Fulks. He was born October 26, 1921 in Birmingham, Kentucky, which is a small town in the state's far western Purchase region that was inundated in the 1940 after the Tennessee Valley Authority dammed the Tennessee River to create the Kentucky Lake. So this town is no longer around, but he played college ball at Murray State University, then known as Murray State Teachers College, for 2 years before leaving to join the Marines in May 1942. He served with the 3rd Battalion, 9th Marines during the World War II, and he was discharged as a corporal in May 1946. His number 26 hangs in the rafters at Murray State CFSB Center. So, after his World War II career in the Marines, after that stint, he joined what was called the BAA. Because before the NBA, there was the BAA. Because the NBA is what they rebranded themselves in 1950. But its predecessor was the BAA. So Fulks joins the BAA Philadelphia Warriors in the 46th season, and he was 25 years old. And as a rookie, he won the league's first scoring title with 23.2 points per game. And he would go on and win the first BAA title. Fulks again led the league in scoring during the 47-48 season at 22.1 points per game, but losing the scoring title to Max Zablowski, who had more total points. Fulks had a career best 26 points per game average in the 48-49 season. Fulks led the NBA in free throw percentage during the 50-51 season. Fulks set the BAA/NBA single game scoring record 4 different times. On December 3rd, 1946, in just the 8th game as a professional, Fulks became the league's record holder for most points in a single game when he scored 37 points, making 16 field goals and 5 free throws in Philadelphia's 76-68 win over the Providence Steamrollers. But just 20 games later, on January 14th, 1947, Fulks would set a new scoring game record when he had scored 41 points, making 15 field goals and 11 free throws in Philadelphia's 104-74 win over the Toronto Huskies in the 46-47 season. Fulks also led the league in scoring for the initial season, scoring 23.2 points per game. Now, he's considered to be one of the league's first stars, even before George Mikan. Now, Mikan would have more popularity, but Fulks you can consider to be the first true NBA star. And for the 4th and final time that he set a record, he scored 63 points on February 10th, 1949, and it remained the most in an NBA game until Elgin Baylor scored 64 points in a 1959 game. So it would stand for a decade. And his 63 points came during a Warriors victory over the Indianapolis Jets, where he made 27 of 56 field goals. Now, he was 6'5", and he played the power forward position. And Fulks was known for both of his athletic drives to the basket. And for his time, he had a good jump shot. That's all I'm going to say. Because this isn't the modern game, and it's not even the 60s or 70s. Field goal shooting was very low in the early NBA days. And I mean, extremely low. So, he averaged 30% field goal shooting in his first year. And that's considered above average, which is atrocious even for like 60s basketball. This is why I get frustrated when I hear people compare, like they don't know the difference between eras. Like they'll confuse black and white footage from the 60s with footage from the 40s. These are 2 different eras, 2 different games. So I try to look at him in the lens of his time period. He was probably the best player in the league in the 46-47 season. Like I said, he had the scoring title. They didn't keep track of rebounds until the 50-51 season. And he was a decent rebounder because his first season that they kept track of rebounds, he averaged 7.9. And I always say a good indicator of who a good shooter is for any era is if you look at their free throw shooting. You know, it doesn't lie. So he was a 76% career free throw shooter, and he had a high mark of 85% in the 51 season. So he had a pretty successful career starting out. He, like I said, he won his first title in his very first season. The second year he won, the second year in the NBA, which was the BAA, they lost in the finals to the Baltimore Bullets. So he'd have 2 finals appearances. And he didn't make it back to the finals in his career. And he would retire in the 53-54 season. And he made 2 All-Star appearances in 51 and 52. And you can make an argument that he was the best player of the 1940s. But anyways, after his retirement, Fulks returned to Marshall County, Kentucky, where he lived the remainder of his life. He worked at Kentucky State Penitentiary as a prison recreation director. Fulks was shot and killed, however, on March 21st, 1976, by Greg Bannister, the son of his girlfriend, Roberta Bannister, during an argument over a handgun. The jury found Bannister guilty of reckless homicide, and he was sentenced to 4 and 4.5 years in prison. Fulks was buried in Greensburg, Kentucky. So this is another reason why Fulks has kind of been forgotten in time, is he died pretty young. He was only 54 years old in 1976 when he passed. You know? So he wasn't around to tell some of his stories. And he is a Hall of Famer. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame. And like I said, he's a 2-time All-Star, a scoring champion, a BAA champion, which is pretty much the NBA, and he's a 4-time All-BAA/NBA, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. He retired at the age of 32, and that was his career. So rest in peace, Joe Fulks. Gone but never forgotten. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching.